We've arrived at Balcarrick Golf Club. Balcarrick is in North Dublin, a village called Donabate, which is about 15 minutes north of the airport on the M1. Good stop for your first or last game if you're coming through the airport. It's very handy for that. The main building that you're looking at here houses the bar and restaurant. Full restaurant services available, so you can have your pre or post game meals here, and the shower rooms and changing rooms and so forth are in that main building as well. As we pan across now, the small building on the left is the professional shop. It's quite well stocked. Teas, balls, all those knickknacks that you might need, all your drinks and snacks before you go out, everything is catered for there. They have some souvenirs as well, head covers and logoed golf balls and that type of thing, club shirts, so pretty much everything you need when you arrive. In terms of practice facilities, beside the pro shop they have a couple of nets for just loosening up with full swing. They have a putting green here just in front of the pro shop, and they also have a full practice facility. However, it's the far side of the golf course. It is a 5-minute walk from the pro shop, and you do need your own golf balls. So it's really probably more for members coming down to practice more so than visitors warming up. But the facility is there if you're here early. It's quite good. We'll have a look at it in a bit. They've got chipping green, practice bunkers, and a 300-yard practice area off grassed bays. So it's a good facility, but it is about a 5-minute walk from the pro shop and clubhouse. Probably better for somebody who has a bit of time on their hands. We'll take our first look at the professional shop as you arrive, and it's quite well stocked. Most things you're going to need going to the golf course. They do have club crested shirts as souvenirs. Well stocked fridge, sweets, chocolates, keep you going on the golf course. Gloves, golf balls, tees, caps, full selection. Crested head covers, logoed golf balls. Can't really think of anything that you're not going to be able to purchase for your game of golf when you arrive here. They hire pull trolleys. They do not have electric trolleys for hire, and they have a very limited number of ride-on buggies available for hire. So if you are looking for a ride-on buggy, I would definitely recommend that you pre-book it prior to getting to the golf course. I've been in with the head professional and he's given me some very useful information on the course. The golf course itself is marked in meters. Their on-course signage is in meters to the front edge of the green at 100, 150 and 200 where appropriate. They have a small yellow flag on the flagpole. If it's at the bottom, the flag is cut to the front, and if it's at the top, the flag is cut to the back of the green. The course itself is relatively flat and walkable by players of all age groups. He's warned me about a couple of areas on the course to be careful. The first hole, while very short and possibly drivable for the big hitters, actually has out of bounds directly behind the green, which presents an obvious risk. On hole 3, travelling to the 4th tee box, there's a pathway about 400 metres that takes you to the 4th tee box directly behind the 3rd green. You do pass the 9th tee on the way, and he's told me to be a little careful and make sure that I go to the correct tee area. On holes 11 and 14, there's internal out of bounds to the left off the tee shot. The golf course itself is a single loop and does not come back to the clubhouse at any stage. So if you are going out and need snacks, balls, teas, or any of the usual accessories going to the course, I would certainly advise that you do it prior to leaving the pro shop for the first tee box, as once you enter the course, you don't return to the clubhouse until you play the 18th. We've arrived at the first hole here in Balcarrick, and they have 4 sets of tee boxes. So they have red for ladies, they have yellow for group bookings, they have white, which seems to be their standard tee box, and then they have a blue, which is a championship course. we're not going to play championship golf today. So I'm on the white tee boxes, and this hole is measuring 232 meters and seems reasonably short and drivable. But what I've seen on it is there's water all down the right hand side of this hole, which really doesn't appeal to me for my first tee shot. As I look down towards the green, I can see white stakes directly behind the green, so I've got out of bounds there. I'm not going to risk that. What I'm going to do on this hole is I'm going to look to play down the left half of the fairway. It's flat calm. I'm going to hit 6 or 7 iron in these conditions, see if I can get myself into a good position to play into this green. Here we go. So found myself in a good position here. I'm down the left half of the fairway, 96 left to the flag. One of the things that stands out to me here is there's bunkering on the left, front left of this green. And as I said on the tee shot, there is out of bounds directly behind this green. So if the flag was cut behind that bunker, I think I might be a little cautious and play towards the open side of the green. We're lucky today it's on the right, so let's see what we can do. Strikes you as you approach this green is that it's divided into 3 clear sections. We have one here on the left, which is protected by that front left bunker. We have a lower level here on the right hand side, but the water does creep in a little tight, so we need to be careful. And they've got a level right up the back, a flat piece on the back. I'd say that's pretty difficult to get close to. We don't want to see the flag there. Quick putt, and we'll be ready to... My way now to the second tee box. Par 4, 364 meters. Moves a little bit from right to left, and it looks like there's an awful lot of trouble down my left hand side. There's trees and bushes all in my way. I'm going to look to put this down the right hand side. There is some mounding down there, but I think I'll be okay. I think I'll have a shot. Here we go, down the right. As is typically the way, when you think that there's room on one side of the hole to play, you end up hitting it there. I've hit it onto the mounding on the right hand side, but it's opened up the green. I'm okay. Bunkers front left, bunkers front right. What I'm really looking for here is straight, especially off this uphill lie. So we're just going to try and keep it either in front of the green or maybe just on the front half. As you approach this green, if you need to lay up, if you can't get there, be aware there's bunkers short right, there's bunkers short left, and then there's a bunker either side of the green just towards the front. So straight is far better than long. Let's keep the thing in play, get it down onto the short grass. Let's go. Managed to find the front right portion of this green, and when the flag is on this lower level, I guess I'm in a really good spot. The flag today is up the mounding on the left, so I've got a big tier in the green to come up, and then it's going to sweep around. We'll have a go. Wow, I've aimed that one about 18 feet right of the hole. She's swept around, and I'm now 6 feet left of the hole, so there's a huge break on this green when you're putting from right to left. We got to be careful here. So we're on the third hole here, 354 meter par 4. Now they've got a bunker down the left that's definitely in play, and they've got 2 more bunkers in the distance on the right as the hole starts to turn. I can't reach those with my 3 wood, so I'm going to play safe. I'm going to keep it down the right away from that first bunker. I reckon that's a bit of a card wrecker. There's also some trees down the left hand side, and they're really going to come into play for me if I hit one left. So I'm going to be out on the wide side. I'm going to keep it to the right. Here we go. Again, in playing safe, I've managed to miss the fairway down the right hand side, but that's okay. I can see right into the green here. Now, it looks straightforward enough for where the flag is today. The flag is on the front left, so there's a gap between the bunkers that I can go through. If that flag is up on the back right, which is protected by a bunker, I'm guessing I probably need to hit 2 clubs more than I would if I was going to the front edge of the green. So flags at the front, let's have a puff. I've come up just short, but I'm happy. I'm not in either of the bunkers. Bunker front left, bunker front right. They would definitely hurt a score. As I said back in the fairway, this green's a big green, and flag down the front, I'm fine here. If it's up the back, we definitely need a club or 2 more to get it all the way up. And that front right bunker really protects the back section of the green. So you got to fly it all the way if you're going to be there. If not, be sensible. Play it down here into the flat and leave yourself a straightforward chip up the green, like I'm going to do. So I'm finished with the third. I'm just coming off the green and I see a signpost here telling me that there's a pathway leading across to the 4th tee. So I'm going to follow this path and see where it leads me to. Let's go. So I've made it to the 4th tee box, and I did have to pass by one of the tees along the way. It's about a 200-meter walk. It's not too bad. So I found myself here in the 4th now, and it looks wide open down the left-hand side. It's 325 meters, which isn't particularly long, but it looks very open and inviting. So I'm going to hit driver. There's bunkering and trees down the right-hand side, and I'm really going to try and avoid those if I can. So keeping it down the left half of this hole. So I've not done well. I've caught the bunkers down the right hand side of this fairway. Definitely not the place to be. I have tons of room out the left and I've failed to hit it there. I've now got 100 meters left into this green out of a sandy lie. Not the side of the fairway to come in from, guys. I've managed to miss the green side bunker front left, but I've only made the front right of this green, and this is a long green stretching down. It's going to be a long putt. Probably need half a club extra as you hit into the green. On number 5 now, par 3, 158 meters, so no slouch. We've got water all down the left-hand side of this hole, and the reeds in the water kind of block your view of the front left of the green. There's a bunker front left, a bunker front right. It's a 2-tier green as I play in. Got to hit a good shot to get it there. I'm going to hit 6-iron today and hope I can get there. Luckily, just hung on to the left fringe of the green, and the flag down here in the front left, that's ideal. But this is a 2-tier green, and there's a raised section back right that looks quite difficult to get near, and a big drop off on the right hand side if you do go after that and miss it. So I'm thinking, regardless of where the flag is, middle of the green for this length of a hole is a super shot. One of the things that you'll notice, on the tee it looked like there was no room between the water and the green, but actually as you get up here, there's a 20-meter spread between the edge of the water and the front edge of the green, so there's room there. Don't panic too much when you're on the tee box. There is a bit of room. Just try and hit one clean. We're on the par 5 6th hole. Looks quite tight actually. We've out of bounds all down the right hand side, the entire length of it. We've got bunkers out there 260 meters off the tee. The hole itself 468 meters. So I kind of need to hit driver, even though I'm probably not keen. I'm going to try and keep it down the left. I certainly don't want to be out of bounds. Penalty shots will kill anybody's game. So here we go, let's have a pop. So played it perfectly, short of the bunkers, which is key. I've now got a second shot. I'm not going for the green, I'm going to lay up. I've got bunkers 185 meters away. So I'm going to try and play one up just short and right of those. Avoid the out of bounds down the right is the key. So laid up quite well here. I'm just short of the bunkers. I've got 80 meters to the flag, I've got 68 to the front edge of the green. I'm ideal, but there is quite an expanse here to lay up into. There's probably a 40 to 50 meter area short of the bunkers where it's just open fairway. There's nothing in your way. As we go into the green, there's no bunkering around the green at all. I can see reeds behind the green and I can see a red stake, so there's definitely water down there. The green itself, the front half slopes back towards me and then seems to go over a crown and away from me again. So let's see if we can get this one in tight. So, as we thought back in the fairway, green rises up, now slopes down away from us. There's definitely water there, we can see it clear. It's 8 meters over the back of the green. Yeah, you definitely don't want to go long here. That could be a penalty shot. There's a drop zone off in the distance. Drop zone is 20 meters from the edge of the green, coming over the edge of the water. So really don't want to go there. We've got a little fall off there on the left into a hollow. Doesn't look like the worst place to be, but the green definitely slopes away from that hollow. Down the right hand side, it's not too bad. The issue I'd have there is that's the exit point to the next tee box. So the grass is all leaning towards that next tee box where people are walking and trampling it down. Could be a tricky chip, but all told, on the green's the place to be. Let's go. She had a chance. When I was coming out to the course, they told me that their 7th hole was one of the feature holes on the course. And it's certainly a pretty little par 3. It runs 121 meters, so it's not a huge club. Water all down the left, which is quite nice. Bunkering across the back and right. Not sure I'm going to get there today. The green is a wide green. Not much depth to it, but it's a wide green. So we got to get their club right. We'll have a look at this one. I haven't caught it perfect, but I've made the front edge of the green, so I'm happy. It's a very, very wide green. This thing is 35 meters wide, I would say. It's about 18 meters deep, which isn't huge when you're playing into a par 3. So club selection is key, absolutely key. The water here sneaks in. It slopes back down towards the water. Could definitely rob a golf ball or two out of your pocket. So be careful. If I'm saying anything, be up the back half of the green. The green does slope back to front, but it's marginal. It's not going to create a scary putt for you. But the bunkers will protect you, save you going too far. There's a couple of little hollows there with rough in it. I'm definitely thinking half a club too much is better than half a club too little. So just be careful going into it. Oh, and a little 2 to help us along our way. We're through now to the par 5 8th, running at 469 meters. I'm playing down and it dog legs a little right to left, not too much. I've got water trimming the right hand side all the way down, so I certainly have to be a little bit careful there. I've got bunkering at 220 meters and the breeze is just coming into me a little bit now, so they become part of the shot. But overall I think I want to be down just right of the bunkers and see where that leaves us. I've managed to avoid the bunker off the tee in the fairway nicely. I'm looking down here, it's a par 5 and I have no intention of going for it. There's water right, there's water left and there's water short. So I'm not really sure where you would play it to if you were going for it. Too much of a carry for me, so I'm going to lay up with a long iron, try and stick it in the gap between all the water, play a pitch into the green from there. So I've laid up pretty well, but I've found the rough and it's a bit gnarly here. Playing into the green, I've 120 left to the green and a family of swans have decided to nest in the front half of the green. I'm not sure how brave I am. I might leave the golf ball there for later. Here we go. Hit it past the swans, that's the key. Oh, we've made the back half of the green where the flag is and the swans are not, which is the key thing. Just being approached by, well, it looks like quite an angry crowd. Hopefully they're going in the water and I can get around them. But nice to see. There's plenty of wildlife on this course. For anybody who enjoys wildlife and a bit of nature, you won't go too far wrong on this course now. As long as they don't come too close to me. I know they can be protective of their young. I certainly don't want to see them in full flow. So I've managed to make it onto the green. I've avoided the swans and I've got a long birdie putt across the green. Let's give it a shot. It's not bad, we've made our par. Looking back from the green, there's a good bit of water between the front of the green and the cross water. Probably 25-30 meters. There's not much room to the right as you come across. There's 8 or 10 meters and it's down a bank and it's heading towards water. We're definitely going to avoid the right. There's room out there on the left. The fourth tee box that we just came off is on our left and it's just open ground. Green itself is a 2-tier green, lower on the front, higher on the back. Not a huge target. You probably don't want to be coming into it with a long iron or wood if you can avoid it. But all in all, very playable par 5, very enjoyable. Let's head on to the index 1 as far as I know, number 9. Maybe not looking forward to this one. Wow. What do you say about this? 399 meter par 4. Water all down the right hand side. Not much bailout on the left either. There's mounding on the left and just over that mounding is water. Our target line has got to be the bunker in the distance. That gives us a bit of room if we go towards the right, but not a lot. Let's see, and this is one of the low index holes, so you've got shots, use them. I've hit a nice tee shot, but I've kind of been a bit lucky. There's a little sneaky drain comes in here on the left, in around the landing area, which I've managed to avoid, but didn't really realise it was there. I could have got in trouble. For my second shot, it's slightly uphill. I'm going to take a fraction more club. There's bunkers short left and right, but the land seems to move from left to right, so I'm not too concerned about the bunker on the left. The one on the right, that's definitely in my eye line. But it's a good par 4. There's plenty of hitting in this shot, in this hole. So we've come up short, but really not in a bad spot here. I think I might play to here on occasion. Front half of the green seems to slope quite a bit from back to front, so I'm not sure I want to be wide of the green at all, right or left. Back half up there, there's a nice level section. If the flag's up there, I think it's an easier putt, certainly. Mounding around the green, it's quite nicely manicured, nice shape and contour around the green. Nice hole, good par 4. So we finished the 9 and very enjoyable. I enjoyed it so far. It's a very easy walk, completely flat so far. Not too difficult. There's a bit of room, you know. 2 and 3 I was able to bail out a little bit on the right. The par 3s were good. The first one, the 5th, over water, and a good hit. It was, I think it was running about 156, 158 meters, and then we came to the 7th, which they described as one of their feature holes. 121 meters over water to a wide green. Quite an interesting one. And then they finished the 9 with the index 1, 399 meter par 4. Good strong hole, trouble everywhere you go. So far it's been very interesting. let's head on, see what the back nine shows us. So we had the long ninth, 400 meters, 399. They've now snuck in a little short par 4 on us, 248 meters. Now, I think some guys could get there. It's over water. Certainly a lot of guys could get there. There's water down the left as well. But for today, I'm going to play it as a 2-shotter to get to the green. So first of all, I'm going to hit mid-iron, mid to long iron, down the left side. There's trees and gorse bushes, trees left, gorse bushes right. I really want to avoid them. And then from there, play in. So here we go, down the left, mid-iron. So I finished quite nicely, 95 meters to the flag, over water, so I definitely want to achieve that. Looks like a 2-tier green and the flag is on the back half. Not too much trouble around, a bunker front left, but pretty much no trouble down the right hand side, so let's have a pop. Interesting par 4. I'm not sure whether I'd have a go. If you go down the right hand side, the water comes all the way up to the very front edge of the green. Here in the center, gosh, there must be 40 meters back to the water from the front edge. There's water all down the left hand side of this. There's really not too much out behind the green, so you could, if you've got the power, yeah, you could certainly have a pop and get it out here into the back section. For anybody who can't fly this thing 250 meters in the air, don't try. It's not worth it. So we'll have a putt. Ooh, she just rolls by the edge. So it's a 2-tier green. It's relatively flat. There's no huge humps on it. It's quite a large size. So if you're laying up and coming in with a wedge or a 9-iron or something in that area, yeah, there's quite a big target here to aim at. I think the safe play, the intelligent play for most people, is to just play it down the fairway, wedge it in. If you're on holidays and you want to have a treat and have a big bang, you got to carry a 250 through the air, guys. I hope you've got that in the locker. So 11th hole, par 4, 357 meters. When I was back at the pro shop, they did warn me there's internal out of bounds down the left, and I can see a couple of white stakes on the hills down the left hand side, so I'm going to try avoid that. This one plays up towards a bunker and then it doglegs around to the left. Not much trouble out there except the bunker. Let's see. So lucky enough to just squeak over the corner of the dogleg. Playing into the green now. I've got 120 meters left. The slightest of hills up to that green. Really not much worth talking about. There's bunkering down the left. I can see 3 bunkers on the left. I can see nothing but grass on the right hand side. Nothing in front of the green, so I'm happy enough to have a pop here. It's going to be a little bit aggressive. The green looks huge, absolutely huge. Let's see. Not very attacking, but heart of the green, we'll take that one. I'm up at the green, and as I thought, the bunkering here on the left, there's 3 bunkers. They're the danger zone. At the front, there's not much at the front, but there is a false front on this green. So the last meter of the fairway and the first 2 meters of the green slope severely back down to the fairway. So if you're bouncing one in or running one in, make sure you get it up there. She'll not run too easily through it. The green itself, that's a big old green. That's a big target to go for. There's no reason to be at the bunkers. You have 35, 40 meters of green to the right of those bunkers. Absolutely no reason to find yourself in those bunkers. Bad play if you do. So hit a nice shot in, big green, reasonably flat, slopes back to front, but not too much danger. Relatively flat putt that we've left ourselves here. So we'll have a roll. Ooh. The greens roll beautifully. They are really well manicured. They're in superb condition. If you miss putts here, it's your fault. Don't go blaming the greens. Reached hole number 12, 346 meters. Seems to dogleg a little bit from left to right, but not much. It's not anything that's going to concern us. What will concern us is the right hand side of this hole is trimmed with gorse. We don't want to be down near the gorse. The gorse is just bad news. You're going to lose a ball in there. The left hand side seems to be reasonably open with some mounding down there, but nothing that's really going to cause us too much of a problem, I don't think. So I'm going to play it down the left half of this fairway. So playing into the 12th green, not looking at much danger around it. There's a bunker down the left hand side. I'm going to steer clear of that. It's an elevated green. It's a 2-tier green when you get onto that elevation. Looks like there's a bit of a false front for maybe the first 2 or 3 meters. So we want to get the ball all the way there if we can, just to get it up onto the surface. Let's have a go. Well, we've made the lower half. We haven't got it all the way back to the flag on the top level, but at least we're on the putting surface. So we're down at the 12th green, and as we thought, the front is a false front on it. You've got to carry it well up onto the green to stay there. The bunker front left, if there's a left-hand pin, the ground seems to break towards that bunker, which is going to just swallow up anything down the left side. The 2-tier green, we failed to get up on the top level, but we'll have a roll at the putt. Good for pace, just broke off marginally right to left, which would feed into what I was saying about the green and the ground sloping towards that front left bunker. But all in all, nice hole. Once you keep it down the left, you could make a score on this one. 13th hole, 343 meters. Par 4. Looks straightforward enough. There's a lot of trouble down the left here. I can see bushes and trees and all sorts down there, but unfortunately down the right I can see a lot of gorse bushes as well. Not really fancying either of those. You'll see white stakes down the left hand side. When I was back at the pro shop, they told me that left of the 14th was out of bounds, so that's obviously trimming this hole. So there's no out of bounds on this hole. But if you're playing the 14th and you knock it onto this fairway, it seems to be out of bounds. Let's see if we can get one between the trouble and the other trouble. Yeah, we've managed to catch the right hand side of the fairway, and to be honest, on a hole with trouble on both sides, anything that gets you in play is the shot. So I'm down the right half of the fairway. Someone's been rude enough to stick a bit of a mound in my way, but it's not in play and not blocking my view, so I don't mind. I've avoided the trees left. I've avoided the gorse on the right. That's your primary concern on this hole. Get the ball in play. It's quite tight. So we've got 150 left to the flag. Middle of the green. Yeah, nothing exciting there. As we go up to it, there's a bunker front left. Again, seems to be bunkers front left a lot on this golf course. And again, another false front on the front half of the green. So you got to fly the ball all the way there. Let's go and see what the rest of it's like. Up at the green, bunker short left. We've avoided that, but we've hit the front of the green and the ball has come right back down off that false front. So we're left chipping up onto it now. And it's quite a steep false front. There's a good 3 or 4 meters there where the ball's going to run down. So with your approach shot, you really do need to get it right up onto that green. As we play into it, it's a 2-tier green. Today the flag is up on the top level at the back. Quite a generous, from right to left, it's quite a generous sized green. Good target, shouldn't have missed. Happy there, we've clipped it up to 6 foot. We have a putt for par. Difficult green, everything seemed to break from right to left with that chip there. Not really that visible as you play to it, but the ball certainly broke 5 or 6 foot from right to left as it ran up the green there. as you play into this green, the risk at the back is there's a big drop off with a hollow. I say big drop, it's about 4 foot below the level of the green. The grass looks rough. It doesn't look like a pleasant spot to chip from. So just be a little careful. Certainly easier chipping up the green from the front than it would be coming out of that heavier grass at the back. These greens are so good you can't miss on them. Hole 14, 360 metre par 4. Plays down and dog legs left. There's bunkers left and right of the corner, and there's water if you run through the corner. So we need to be very careful there. And don't forget, this is where they said they've got their internal out of bounds on the left. So we don't want to go down there either. So out of bounds left, out of bounds right, bunkers trimming either side of the fairway, and water if you go too far down. Not sure about this one. So for me, I'm going to try and play it into position. I'm going to hit a rescue off the tee, hopefully not get into any trouble. We'll worry about the par off the second shot. That's fine, we're just short of the bunker on the left. Seems to be the short line in as I go around a right to left dogleg. Let's see what we got left. Oh, seem to be in prime position here. I've got 158 left to the flag. As I look at it, I'm hoping this bunker directly in front of me is not in play. There's a bunker front left. It seems to be about 15 meters short of the green. So again, I'm hoping that's not going to be an issue. The green has a big false front. I can see that from here, 160 yards away, and I can see how steep that false front is. It's a 2-tier green, and it kind of sits across you. You're not playing directly into it. It sits a little bit back left to front right as you play into this green. So I'm thinking the shot is down the left half of the green, and then if it moves to the right, great, and if it doesn't, you've got plenty of green there. So we give her a pop. I've taken half a club extra because of this false front. I want to try and flight it all the way to the green if I can. Well, hit solid. And I've got the yardage. I'm on the left half of the green. It seems to be quite safe there. That was the plan, was down the left and see if it moved back. But the key here, definitely get over that false front. As we lead into this green, there is a huge false front. It's about 5 meters long, and it will reject everything going in there, I would think. There's bunker front left, bunker front right. You definitely got to fly this thing a long way if you can. There's trouble all around, but the green itself, 2-tier, relatively flat on both tiers, so it shouldn't be too difficult to put on once we get there. Let's see if we can get a few good putts rolling here. So I've left quite a long putt across this green. Seems to be down and then breaking towards the front of the green. The green itself, it's a nice 2-tier green. It's reasonably flat. There's room to land the ball on it, but you got to get over that false front. That's not bad. Par 5, 15th hole, 471 meters, and I'm playing on a slight downhill here, but I've got bunkers right and I've got bunkers left and water that runs across the fairway. The water is out of range. I'm safe there, but certainly the bunkers left and right are in play, so I want to just be a little careful off the tee. We're fine there. We've managed to find the right hand side of the fairway. We've missed the bunker. We should have a reasonable second shot on this par 5. So I seem to be in pretty good position. I've avoided the bunkers left and right, and I'm short of that water. As I play my second shot now, I've become very aware of out of bounds all down the right hand side, and really only 2 or 3 meters off the right hand side of the fairway. So I'm going to try and avoid that at all costs. We've got 2 bunkers up there on the left. I think for me the shot is up just fairway side of those bunkers. Play it safe. I'm not going to try and get there with a wood. I won't reach anyway from here, and then I just run the risk of hitting a bad shot.
Again, it's drifted a little bit further right than I meant, but because I had such a good strategy on the hole, I have plenty of room there and I'm not in any real trouble. Again, I'm fine. As I said, I aimed towards the bunkers, which gave me plenty of room from the out of bounds, and even though I've leaked it a little bit right, I'm still playing in a nice position. Bunkers here, I'm kind of level with that first bunker on the left, and I've got 110 yards, 100 meters left to the middle of the green. It's slightly uphill. Green again is false front, elevated front of the green, and it's a two-tier green on the back of that, which a lot of the greens here seem to be. Kind of forces you to fly the ball all the way to the green, which isn't the worst thing in the world. The flag is buried on the right hand side of this green. We're not going at the flag. If we end up over that side, we've pushed it. Yep, we've pushed it and finished a couple of feet from the hole, but it was pure luck. Let's go and have a look at the putt. So as we make our way into this green, you can see the two bunkers on the right, elevated green, two-tier green as we approach it. And as I said, the flag today is tucked on the right-hand edge of this green. As I said, pushed it, ended up a few feet from the hole. Long green, very long, two-tier green. Little moundings around both sides. It's quite well manicured around there. Nice little humps and hollows for you to chip out of. Over the back there's a drop down of about 4 or 5 foot into what looks like heavy rough. Wouldn't be recommending you go long if you can help it. And those couple of bunkers down the front right as you come in, I'd say they swallow up a lot of golf balls. So keeping it down the left half of this green as you play into it is the key. Par 3 16th, 140 meters. Looks fractionally down a hill, but nothing you'd really notice. The green itself seems quite a big green. There's a bunker front left, bunker front right. Seems like it's flat in front of the green, so it's safe to try and run one in if we want. We're gonna have a pop. She's bounced just short and bounced on. Not something I can say a lot about this course. It's one of the few greens now that doesn't have an elevation or a false front on it. Something a little different. For the length of the hole, this is quite a big target to be aiming at. Bunker front left and front right. I think most of the trouble though is down the left. There's a lot of humps and hollows down the left that'll catch your ball. I'd say they're tricky to chip out of, and of course that bunker. Down the right hand side there's actually some banking to just run the ball in off, so if you do go down the right you have a chance of kicking back. It's a very big green, it's very big, and there's hills at the back as well which will stop a shot that's going a little bit long. So all in all, for me the shot is down the right hand side of the green, and make sure you have plenty of club. The green itself slopes marginally from back to front. It's quite a subtle slope on it. I don't think it'll cause you huge problems when you're putting. I certainly hope it won't. So par 5 17th, 449 meters, and this was one of the other feature holes that they told me to watch out for. Par 5 over water, water all down the right hand side, trees and bunkers all down the left. It looks a fairly straight hole. The fairway just meanders as it goes down, but I can see the green from here. I think I'm going to favour the left side away from the water. So we're in the fairway and it's quite narrow down here. There's bunkers left and right and the fairway really narrows in here. So I've hit a good drive, but you're probably better off a little back from here. It's a lot wider. As I go down, the water continues on down the right hand side, but it stops not too far down and it then becomes a bit tree lined. Now there's a pocket of trees here. They're about 100 meters short of the green. And down this side there seems to be quite similar. If you're going to play a layup, you're going to favour the right half of the fairway because the trees are set back a little bit there. You want to try and lay up in around 100 meters short of the green. For me, I've hit a good drive. I'm going to try and hit one down onto or close to the green. It's just about in range. There's bunkers front and center, so I'm going to try and play it down the left half because I think that's a little bit safer. We've come up just short. We've been fortunate enough to miss the 3 bunkers that guard the front of the green. The green itself, 2-tiered green, quite a climb up to the back half, big drop off when you get over the back, and a big drop off down the left. So you really need to hit a good shot into this green. The green itself, reasonably long green. There's room over those bunkers, but big drop off behind the green, so if you overdo it or if the ball doesn't stop up for you, leave you an awkward chip coming up that hill. If we miss left, big drop off there as well. Again, a very difficult chip shot. So we want to try and keep it straight and on the dance floor if we can. We've reached the 18th hole and I'm a little disappointed now because I've enjoyed my day. I would have liked to play a little more golf. It's a par 4. It's 372 meters, so it's not a short hit by any means. There's a carry out over water. It measures 135 meters to the front edge of the fairway, which clears all the water, so that's not too bad. I've got bunkers and trees down my left hand side, and I've got water all down the right hand side. Now for me, I just want to stay away from that water. I'll be okay being down the left half, so we're going to play it down the left half of the fairway and hope we're safe from the bunkers at least. We've hit that quite nice. I'm just left of the bunkers, but I have a feeling I'm going to have a very long second shot into this hole. 372 meters, that's measuring over 400 yards, and there's a waft of a breeze coming into our face at this stage, so it's going to play long. So I've managed to avoid the bunkers left. I'm not as far up as I expected. I've 145 meters left to the front, and this green looks huge. I'd say if the flag is down the back, I'd say I could have 170 meters to get it all the way back to the flag. So bunker left looks like it's about 15 or 20 meters short of the green. There's 2 bunkers on the right. They look like they're up close to the green, so I'm going to come in from the left half and hopefully avoid all the traps. We've pulled it a fraction left, but it's bounced down off the hill, so I think we're okay. So we're about 50 meters short of the green. You can see the bunker left, it's a good 20 meters short. Bunkering on the right goes right up against the collar of the green, and it's a very long green, but there's mounding all around, so you'd be looking for a bounce in off the side cushions maybe if you were a little bit astray. We've managed to miss just short and left, which isn't bad with this front pin position. As I thought back in the fairway, this green is huge. It's 45 meters long at least. It's huge. Quite narrow, but there are cushions on each side to just bounce that ball in off. As with the others, I assume it's a nice surface. As I said, huge green, but as with the others, beautiful putting surface. And always nice to finish by making one. In terms of the golf course, the back 9 very enjoyable. 10th hole, a tricky little par 4. 14, 13, very good strong par 4s. The 2 par 5s were very good. I really enjoyed 17. I thought the shape and contour on it was beautiful, and then you finish with a really tough 18th. Overall, I've really enjoyed the day out. Now the weather's been lovely, the course is in magnificent condition, and I've hit the ball quite well. All those things feed into a good day on the golf course, but I have to say I thought the course was in excellent condition. I thought it was a very interesting challenge, lots of different shots. Not the easiest golf course in the world, but if you hit the ball straight, very, very playable and very scoreable.